while the rocks were hitting his body, while the pain was exploding in his chest, while blood was pouring from his wounds, he didn't curse. He didn't cry out for God to punish them. He didn't say, I hope you all get what's coming to you. He said, Lord, forgive them. That's the power of the gospel. Stephen was the first martyr, the first fruit of radical forgiveness. Stephen was the first follower of Jesus to die for the faith. And he died the same way that Jesus died. Innocent, courageous, forgiving. The early church did not grow because of weapons. It grew because of witnesses who forgave their killers and loved their enemies. And do you know who was standing there while Stephen was dying? Saul, the man who became Paul, the greatest evangelist the world has ever known. At Acts chapter 7 verse 58, it confirms it when it says, meanwhile, the witnesses laid their coats at the feet of a young man named Saul. Stephen's forgiveness planted a seed in the heart of a murderer. A seed that God would later water and turn into a missionary. What a powerful word. Let me tell you why this matters today. And I just heard a story. I heard a story about a man who believed in God. He was in one of those foreign lands, and his people, when they found out that he had become a Christian with his family, they went to his home and they told him, you have to denounce Jesus. You can't acknowledge Jesus. You can't give recognition to Jesus. You cannot say that you're serving Jesus. You have to denounce Jesus. And he refused to denounce Jesus. So they took his child and they killed his child in front of him. And then they said, you have to denounce Jesus. They're talking to him and his wife now. And him and the wife refused to denounce Jesus. And so they took his wife and they killed her in front of him. And then when they did that, they said to him, son, you got to refuse. You got to denounce Jesus. You have to denounce Jesus. And he still refused. He said, for God I live and for God I'll die. He made a commitment and he gave his very life. He never gave up. But there was somebody who witnessed it. And because of that witness, they became followers of Christ. The very people who took advantage of him. One of the soldiers in the book of John testified that all of the things that he saw was true because he became a follower of Christ. This because he saw the suffering, but he saw the truth in all of it. Why does these things matter today? Why does the situation with Stephen matter? Why does the situation with Jesus matter? Some of the people who hurt you may never change. They may never appear to get rid of their wicked ways. But some of those persons who hurt you will change. And your response may be the very thing that opens their eyes to see Jesus Christ as King of Kings and Lord of Lords.